knowledge should be updated quickly, regularly. Now, the professional body can support you to update that one in different ways. They can have the continuing professional development. Actually, the these are the part of the continuing professional development: training, seminars, conferences, professional discussions, webinars, journals, newsletters, research papers. From all these things, they supported their members to update their technical knowledge. Then what are the objectives of what is the objective of having professional bodies? So they check the qualification before the admission to the membership. Now when you want to get the associate member for IESL, so they check your education qualification. If they are satisfied only, they will give the associate member to you. So recognition is granted only for standard and quality degrees. So they don't recognize all the programs, all the degrees, only the standard and quality degrees they will do. They recognize. And they conduct CPD programs. I mentioned you about what are the CPD programs: training, seminars, conferences, these things. And set out and maintain the industrial standards. So they can define the industrial standard, set out and govern the ethical behavior of the members. So they are governing the ethical behavior of the members. So these things are done by the professional bodies. So any question you have up to here? Right. Next, the membership categories. In the professional body, you have many membership categories. These are some typical membership categories: student member, associate member, then the next one they say the member, senior member, fellow. For any professional institution, the highest category of the member is the fellow. So if you can see the F, the letter F in front of the this there is institution membership, so that is a fellow. For instance, the IESL, FIESL is a fellow of that institution. So they have different membership categories. Now let us see uh, later what are the requirements for these membership categories. So these are some of the professional bodies in Sri Lanka. So Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka, IESL, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, Institute of Management of Sri Lanka, then the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing. Like that, many professional bodies are there. So their function I explained earlier. So they will do a big service to the society by maintaining the standards and the conduct of their profession. Then there are professional bodies, they are internationally there. So that means that the worldwide their members are there. These are some of them. Actually, we were always in the UK. So the Commonwealth countries get the UK Professional Institute memberships. Now this IET, Institute of Engineering and Technology UK, IMechE, Institute of Mechanical Engineers UK, ICE, Institute of Civil Engineers UK. Now about 50 years back, there was no the actually the even the charter was not given from Sri Lanka, so we have to get the charter also from the UK. So therefore, most of the senior engineers are members of these institutions: IET, IMechE, ICE. Then the IEEE, it's a modern organization, modern institution. Everybody knows this one. I think most of you are the members also. Now they are doing a lot of work. So that they are defining the standards, and the lot of members are there worldwide in their organization. Then the Institute of Engineers Australia, similarly the Institution of Engineers India, almost all the countries have their Institution of Engineers. Now about IESL, That is the apex body of engineering professionals in Sri Lanka. In terms of the professional bodies, is the apex body of engineering professionals in Sri Lanka. And this is more than 100 years old. And now actually it's a very legal body actually, because it's the past, it was passed from a parliament act. Actually, they are responsible for the education size, the education standards of the Sri Lanka. So there are professional bodies, you can form that one, go to the company registrar and register it, the name and start that one. Or it can be passed out in a parliament as an act. Then it's connected to the law of the country. So IESL is a institution where it was passed out from the Act of Parliament. There are only very few professional bodies, those are passed out from the Act of Parliament. Even the Computer Society of Sri Lanka are still not passed out from the Act of Parliament, but I think they are in the process of getting pass the act in the Parliament. So the professional bodies, those who pass from the Parliament Act, so that is connected to the law of the country also. Now these are the IESL membership categories. We have the student membership, affiliate membership, associate membership, corporate, also it's called the chartered engineer, and the fellow. You can see there are 5 categories of the membership of the IESL, in the IESL. Now what are the requirements to become these 5 categories? Student member, you can be undergraduate of an engineering degree. If you are following the engineering degree, you can get the student membership from the IESL. Affiliate members are the 3-year engineering degree holders. Now there are two types of engineering degrees, 3-year engineering degrees and the 4-year engineering degrees. Those who have the 3-year engineering degrees are affiliate members. But just having the 3-year engineering degree is not sufficient to become an affiliate member. You have to, that degree should be recognized by the IESL. That degree should be recognized by the IESL. In other words, it's a 3-year engineering degree recognized by the IESL. Then you can become affiliate member. Then associate member, it's a 4-year engineering degree from a recognized university. That means recognized by the IESL. To get the associate membership, you need a 4-year engineering degree which is recognized by the IESL. Now you all students, though once you completed your degree, you can get the associate member of the IESL directly. So normally associate members are considered as the just passed out engineers, but after they gain in their competencies, they can become the chartered engineers. So they are corporate members. So what is the requirement to become a chartered engineer? So you have to have the associate membership first. Then you have to have at least about 5 years responsible experience. Now here I highlight the word responsible. So this responsible experience, these 2 words, it is defined in the IESL professional review guidelines, PR guideline. You can go to the IESL website and get it. What is responsible experience? So you have to be associate member, then you have to be about 5 years responsible experience, and also you have to have the proper training. Normally you have the 2 years training, recognized training, and 2 years responsible experience. The thing is, nowadays the 2 years recognized trainings you are not getting from any organization. Once you join to organization, straight away you are working there. So therefore the training you don't get, but you can compensate that training from your experience. So if you have 1 year training, you need actually 2 year training. If you don't have 2 years training, you can compensate it from the 4 year experience. So you need 2 years recognized training and 2 years responsible experience. Uh, if you don't have the 2 years training, then it can be equivalent to 4 years experience. Then the 4 plus 2 is 6 years. That is 4 years experience and another recognized, another responsible 2 years. That is 6. Okay, I'll tell you again. To become a chartered engineer, one requirement is that you have to have 2 years recognized training. Other one is the 2 years responsible experience. If you don't have the 2 years recognized training, that can be taken from your experience, 2 times of your experience. That means 2 times 2 into 2, that is 4 years experience. Then 4 years experience you are taken instead of the 2 years training. Then another 2 years responsible experience, altogether 6. But normally you have 6 months in-plant training. That in-plant training also considered as your training. So if you have 6 month in-plant training at the university, then you need another 1.5 years recognized training. So if you don't have that one, that is equivalent to 3 years your experience. 1.5 into 2 years, 2, 3. 3 years experience plus 2 years responsible experience, 5 years experience. That's why we put here 5 year responsible experience. After you are, but just it is not just experience, it's a responsible experience. After getting that one, you can submit an experience report and a project report or design. Then you have to submit these things and you have to pass the management paper. Separate paper is there, it's called management paper or the B paper. Then you have interview and technical paper, and but your experience should be obtained working under chartered engineer, working with the guidance of the chartered engineer. If you do not have a chartered engineer, there is another scheme also called the mentoring scheme. So that is in the PR manual, you can see that one. But this is the normal part. Then fellow, to become a fellow, you should be a corporate member or the chartered engineer with superior experience, hold a high position in the organization. So again, it is explained what are the superior experience. So these are the membership categories of the IESL: student member, affiliate member, associate member, corporate member, or that is the chartered engineer, and the fellow. Now, how to become IESL student member? You have to follow an engineering degree. That means you should be an undergraduate and submit an application. So the guidelines are in the IESL website. I think most of you are already student members of the IESL. Then how to become an IESL associate member? You have to have a 4-year full-time engineering degree recognized by IESL or equivalent to that. So equivalent path also they are, but the straightforward path is the 4-year full-time engineering degree recognized by IESL. Now, does your degree is recognized by the IESL? Now, the university should submit the required information and get the evaluation, and after that get the recognition of your degree. So, I think all the degrees in the University of Mortu are recognized. Therefore, once you get your degree, you can become an associate member. Then there is a online application form. You can submit the online application form and get the associate membership. So, any question up to here? Okay, next, now sometimes some people say that it's a UGC approved degree. Now for engineering, just UGC approved degree is not sufficient to to consider as the qualified person, qualified engineer. You have to get the associate membership of IESL also. But for the marketing purposes, some of the universities, they are publishing that the UGC approved degree. But the UGC, what they do is they before starting the degree course, they check their curriculums and whether these required facilities are there. Then if it is okay, they give the green light to proceed their degrees. That is called the UGC approved degree. Now, as I told you earlier, the just UGC approved is not sufficient. You have to get the recognition from your degree from the IESL. So the IESL degree recognition, they will check after the first batch is passed out and say how they are